Bruh. Oh shit, not good.
Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. 43 minutes. That's how long we have until he leaves. So we're gonna watch Matpats' most popular Five Nights at Freddy's videos before he leaves at 2 p.m. EST. So let's watch his most popular theory here. I'm gonna turn on desktop audio for you all. Oh, I should probably turn off starting soon, shouldn't I? There we go. Oh, can you even see it? Yes, there's don't mind the like 20,000 tabs that I have open. What if I just... Can I do that? Yeah, I can do that. Is it just showing up? Okay, yeah. Game interests. There it is. There it is. Let's watch Matt's most popular video here. Alright.
Hello once again, theorists. Welcome to Matpat Plays. Today we are playing the scariest game of all creation. Probably never heard of it. It's called Five Nights at Freddy's. Here we go. What's this? It's a camera. The camera came up. Oh, was that a bunny? Was that a bunny? I think it was a bunny. Oh my gosh. I am so scared right now. Matthew Fear Patrick. It's a very strange name. Okay, I'll admit it, I didn't give Five Nights at Freddy's enough credit when it first came out. A few jump scares from creatures that, aren't that scary. People overreacting to it on YouTube, meh, pass. But then when I asked you about it, you showed overwhelming support for an episode on the game on Twitter, so I began to
You guys caused him to do this. All of the people who subscribe to Game Theory and post on Twitter begged him to do this.
dig a little deeper and deeper, and what I found was some of the most interesting storytelling, most intriguing mysteries, and most disturbing events I'd read about in a long time. Now, if you were just to play the game straight through 5 days, the story would actually come across as pretty superficial. You're the new night guard watching the security cameras at a Chuck E. Cheese style restaurant called...
So is this just... When does he get into theorizing? Does he even theorize in this episode?
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. 4 animatronics roam the halls at night because the owners don't want their servos to lock up. Bad news is, you can't let them near you or else they'll kill you on the spot because you look like a naked endoskeleton. Ow, ow! Show them those circuits! Apparently, one of them bit someone back in 87, presumably 1987. And the past guard leaves you recorded phone messages to act as your tutorial, that is, as much as he could record before he got himself killed. And that's it! Stay 5 nights, collect your paycheck, done, game over, play something new. But playing it that way is doing the game a huge disservice.
So if he just explained the entire plot, entire game of Five Nights at... Oh, you can hear that. I'm just hitting my microphone. That sounds so weird. Oh my god. Oh Jesus Christ, what is... Hold on. That's not good.
you're really observant, you start to unravel the layers of unsolved mysteries around this place. You find that there's a fifth animatronic, that posters on the wall will change randomly, that news clippings appear and disappear, telling the dark secrets of this twisted place. Putting it all together, here's the rest of the story. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, once a...
I'll have a link for the King's Quiz Live thing in the chat. Unfortunately, the Cam 1 thing did not work. It was supposed to play a commercial I made. Because things are not working. I don't know. Sorry. Okay. Back to this.
A popular restaurant fell into hard times when 5 children went missing there after being lured to a back room by a man dressed in a character costume. Though a suspect was caught and convicted, the bodies of the children were never recovered. The pizzeria was also threatened with shutdown due to sanitation complaints, as foul odors started to come from the animatronics, blood and mucus oozing from their eyes and mouths. The last article, written years after the incident, states that the pizzeria would finally be closed by year.
I wonder why there was blood coming out on there, huh? I wonder. Yeah, I have no idea how that happened.
Year end. In addition to the core 4 robots, Chica, Bonnie, Freddy, and Foxy, there's also a fifth, unofficially referred to as Golden Freddy. Ignoring
Is that? Okay.
the rules of physics, Golden Freddy appears and disappears at will, can inexplicably travel through doors, wherever, causing strange hallucinations. And when he attacks you, you're not taken to the typical game over screen, your game crashes. So that's unsettling. And there's also strange messages appearing on the walls, repeating the words, "It's me." According to the game's creator, the place is indeed haunted by what we can only assume to be the spirits of the 5 lost children. So that's the gist of it. Murder, missing children, foul odors, killer robots, and pizza. But that story leaves a lot of lingering questions. Who is your character? How's he fit in? Why does he stay for 5 nights when he's very clearly confronting the possibility of death? What more can we know about this terrifying
That's true.
Golden Freddy?
Very
And most
true.
importantly, what is the complete story behind Five Nights at Freddy's? They're all good questions about a delightfully incomplete and mysterious story with just enough threads to keep you theorizing. So now, if you'll indulge me, let me reciprocate that story with one of my own. I think you'll find it interesting. December 1993, Aurora, Colorado. 10 p.m. Tuesday night at a local Chuck E. Cheese. After a family birthday party runs long, manager Margaret Kohlberg and teenage employees Sylvia Crowell, Ben Grant, Colleen O'Connor, and Bobby Stevens are forced to stay late to close up shop. But as Margaret tallies receipts in the back, Bobby scrubs down the kitchen, and the other 3 work outside in the main arcade. Unknown to any of the 5, there's actually a 6th person locked in the building with them, waiting silently in the darkened restrooms. A 19-year-old named Nathan Dunlap. Earlier that year, Nathan had begun working there as a cook, dough master, before getting fired in July after a disagreement over his hours. Now, 5 months later, he was back. At 10:05, he left the bathroom, pulled out a small caliber handgun, and proceeded to execute everyone in the building.
Well-
First Sylvia, then Ben, then Colleen. Dunlap then moved to the kitchen, where he surprised Bobby Stevens. The bullet entered Bobby's jaw, sending him sprawling onto the ground. Then finally, Nathan moved to the back, the office, where Margaret opened the safe before Nathan shot her twice, proceeded to grab her bag, filling it with $1,600 in cash, arcade tokens, and keychains. Spurred on by the building's security footage, police were at his home a few hours later, where he was promptly arrested. Eventually, he was tried and sentenced to death, but his story
Wow.
re-entered the news just recently as his punishment has been postponed, leading people to debate whether he's able to sleep soundly, knowing that his execution has been delayed. This is a tragic story, a disgusting waste of human life, and one that I won't joke about or make fun of in any way, but I want to address it because I have a strong suspicion that this story is the the one that inspired Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's look at the facts. First, I don't think that there's any doubt that Freddy's is a parody of Chuck E. Cheese. From the singing animatronics to the alliterative naming of the characters, the parallels are just obvious, so the setting is certainly the same. Next, what year does Five Nights take place? The time is certainly kept vague, but there are clues that we can put together. For one, the Chuck E. Cheese franchise had a tremendous period of growth and success in the late 80s and early 90s, but started to decline along the same time as arcades, with at-home video game consoles taking center stage. So that's one clue, but we can get even more detailed, specifically with your character's paycheck. Each night you're working a 6-hour shift, and you're spending 5 nights there. So that's 30 hours of total work time for $120. In total, $4.
Oh, I never noticed that. We make $120? What? I actually never noticed that. No, wait, we make $120.50. So if we work 30 hours and we make $120.50, I'm pulling out the freaking calculator. 120.50 divided by 30 hours, you would make $4.02 every hour. I don't think that's legal. Is that legal? I don't know. I don't care.
An hour. How can they do that? That's below minimum wage for 2014. But in 1990, minimum wage was $3.80. In 1991, it was raised to $4.25, and by 1996, you were looking at about $5 an hour.
So 1990. Oh.
So the game seems to take place between 1991 and 1996. The Nathan Dunlap story took.
No. 1990 and 1991 is when it took place. Because if you make $4.02 an hour, then it would be like 1990 into 1921. Because you're making less than $4.25. So his math is very wrong.
Place in 1993. But let's move on to the most important comparison, the victims. In the game, there were 5 child victims. In the real-life story, there were also 5 victims. But we can get even more specific. Online theories about the game always tend to draw a parallel between the number of kids missing to the number of animatronics, saying that the children's bodies were stuffed in the various suits. And this appears to be true. Bonnie and Chica both have moans and raspy breath sound effects, as though someone's trying to cling to the last threads of their lives stuffed inside the costumes. And other sounds made by the animatronics are just slowed down versions of children's laughs and screams. Additionally, as the news clipping mentions, the suits ooze blood and mucus and begin to stink, like decaying bodies or reanimated corpses. So 5 victims, 5 suits, seems like a slam dunk, but nowhere does it say that all 5 were murdered, only that they went missing and couldn't be found. Also, the trouble a lot of people have with this theory is Golden Freddy. Why is that guy so limp and lifeless? So unlike the others. It's weird, until you go back to the real life story. Yes, there were 5 people shot that night in Chuck E. Cheese, which matches the 5 victims in Freddy's story, but of those, 1 survived. Bobby, the one from the kitchen, miraculously survived the shot to his jaw. After he was knocked to the floor by the bullet, he went limp, played dead, to avoid the killer coming back to finish the job. And that relates exactly to the advice you're given on night 3 by the phone guy.
Try playing dead. Go limp.
Again, let me reiterate that I'm not trying to make light of the real-life events by comparing them to bear costumes and animatronics, but I do want to point out that these similarities do exist. And what else is limp and appears to be a lifeless, empty suit in the game? Golden Freddy. Surviving the attack, Bobby was able to go to trial and be a damning piece of evidence in the case against Nathan Dunlap, ultimately leading to his death sentence. Which animatronic surprises you by appearing randomly? The one you don't expect and has no clear pattern? Golden Freddy. It's also worth mentioning that of all the cameras in the restaurant,
I agree with this. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, he is smart, but his math is okay. This was 9 years ago. So.
one is always black, preventing you from seeing what's going on. That camera is located in the kitchen, leading many to assume it's where Golden Freddy hides, which just so happens to be the place Bobby was able to survive the attack. So I ask, odd coincidence or source of inspiration? In fact, if you think about it, the behavior of the animatronics really corresponds with key features of each of the real-life story's victims. We just covered Golden Freddy and Bobby, but the rest have strange parallels too. Bonnie goes into the utility closet filled with floor cleaning supplies.
Dude. That's a cool frame to pause on. Oh my god. So, okay. What? Okay, I can dissect how the cameras work. You click it. This stays on, this turns to a white screen, this turns off, that one turns on, whichever one I pointed on, and this switches back.
The most prominent ones being a mop and a broom. It's probably one of the most random rooms in the game, until you consider that Ben, the second victim, was vacuuming at the time of the attack. Foxy is kept sequestered in the back of the building, behind a curtain.
Manager, right?
More aggressive than all the rest. Similar to the way Margaret, the manager, was in the back office counting receipts at the time of the murder, and her role as manager would inherently make her more aggressive or assertive. Sylvia was closest to the bathroom and was cleaning up the salad bar at the time of the attack. Chica walks past the bathroom and is associated with food. And Freddy, well, he doesn't have that strong of a parallel with Colleen, but he does appear in the girls' restroom. Odd for what we would assume to be a male animatronic. Maybe it's a reference to Colleen being a girl, or a nod to Nathan's plan of hiding in the bathroom until he was ready.
I'll be like that. I'm okay. I don't like that. I'll put on that one. Oh, I know. Okay, background sound effects. There we go. Da, da, da. I'm back. Hello.
To attack. Alright, after doing all the research, reading every fan theory in existence, and putting all the clues together, what can this mean for the story of the game? I think the game is an allegory for that night back in 1993. Here's my final interpretation. You, Mike Schmidt, are the murderer, former employee of Freddy's Pizzeria. Like Nathan in the real story, you were fired for the reasons stated in the Day 7 pink slip, tampering with the animatronics, being unprofessional, odor. Maybe it was your tampering with the robots that caused the infamous bite of 87. Regardless, like Nathan, you were mad and wanted to get even. So you lured children to the back using a costume, killed them, stuffed their
Nope, that was Springtrap.
bodies into the animatronic suits, hoping to get the place shut down, then left. Notice that the newspaper clippings never say it's an employee of the company luring the children away, but we know it must have been someone with access and knowledge of the employees-only section of the
Springtrap.
building. And as the newspaper clippings clearly show, just like Nathan, you were caught almost immediately, captured on the security footage. You were arrested, tried, and convicted, forced now to live on death row. The Freddy's Pizzeria you work in now are just the nightmares that haunt you, taunting you every night with the phrase, "It's me, it's me." It is you. You are the killer. The nightmare is also why everything is so surreal. Posters switching at random, heads on the animatronics glitching, Golden Freddy appearing and disappearing at will, taunting you as the one that got away. It's also why you're only at the pizzeria from midnight to 6 a.m. every night. It's a nightmare. It's in your sleep. It's a place you created, a restaurant long closed as evidenced by the spider webs, and overrun with angry spirits out for revenge on you and you alone as the one who took their lives, as evidenced by them completely ignoring the naked endoskeleton elsewhere in the building. It's also a place you can't escape from, why you find yourself back there night after night, even after you complete your 5 nights. See you back next week, the ending text goes. You're unable to leave this terror, the threat of death, the guilt, because it never ends. And in a delightfully ironic twist, your personal hell forces you to supervise the exact same security footage that led to your capture in the first place. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Sweet dreams.
We have 20 minutes to watch another episode of Game Theory. How about Game Theory? What's less than 20 minutes that we can watch? Okay. Actually, hold on. Is this less than 20 minutes? Let's watch one of his lethal.
More than anything the company would ever. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, the show that's never afraid to go outside for scraps of lore. You know what? I've been in a bit of a bubble recently. With these being my final episodes, I've been so focused on tying up loose ends, continuing franchises that I've grown up with over the years, doing the episodes that I never had the chance to do, that honestly, I've been
I should get Undertale. I might play
missing
Undertale
out on some of the.
stream. Wait, is that on Steam? Is Undertale? I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna see if Undertale is on stream. Undertale's on Steam. Undertale. Oh, it's $9.99. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get that.
Newer games that have been coming out. But today, I'm gonna change that, simply because this game has been impossible to miss. It has been all over the YouTube space. It even managed to sell more copies than the latest Call of Duty.
Oh, he's got a dump on him. He's got a dump on Modern Warfare 3. Oh, wait, is it Modern Warfare 3 that just came out? I don't know.
Talking about everyone's favorite survival horror co-op game of the moment, Lethal Company. The game itself is pretty straightforward. You and up to 3 of your friends have been hired by a mysterious organization known simply as the Company. You travel around to different moons with abandoned bases collecting scrap, and when I say scrap, I do mean literal junk. Broken engines, street signs, even teeth. Basically, if you can find it on an episode of Florida...
I always find this weird. Like, you can collect freaking nuclear reactors! Like, bro, there's a nuclear reactor! And then, oh yeah, this is lethal. Good job, Company.
The Company wants their hands on it. Oh, and did I mention that there's also hideous monsters trying to kill you the entire time?
Nope.
No? Well, neither did the Company. And so now you and your team have to risk your lives to reach the Company quota. Fail to meet it over 3 days, and suddenly you're released of your...
Oh, by the way, I haven't watched this before. I don't know why it just sent me, like, around here.
duties Among Us style. If you do manage to toe the company line though and reach the quota, you are handsomely rewarded with another 3 days of work and a new higher quota. Capitalism, it's great. Currently, there's no ending to this game. The cycle just keeps repeating on and on until inevitably your team fails to gather enough scrap or you die trying.
And then that's the ending. Yeah, you fail. That's when the game ends.
And for most players, that's where it ends. They're just happy running around collecting scrap, screaming.
Okay, who the hell disliked this? Who did it? 861. Why? Why?
Screaming and twerking as they
Rubber Ross. So, I love
do. But the experience doesn't have to end there. Oh no, my friends. The company is hiding something from us.
You mean like the fact you're playing a game about landing on things that don't exist?
God, Tom, we've been over this. The moon exists, okay?
That's what the company wants you to think.
Forgive him, he's out of line. But he also does have himself a point. Not about the moon existing, that's clearly stupid, but the idea of a company conspiracy. You see, by finding hidden files, scanning creatures in the game, and using some good old-fashioned real-world history, we can actually start to piece together exactly what went down in the Thistle Nebula. Why everyone's missing. Why there are monsters patrolling these moons. Why is the company
that's
the
creepy
Nebula.
as hell.
Why everyone's missing. Why there are monsters.
Look, that girl's creepy as hell. Oh, that's creepy. I hate that. I hate that so much. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah, they hid something in this video. I'm pretty sure I heard something about that. Cookie. Hi, Cookie. Cookie's in the chat. Oh, my God. Hi, Cookie. Hello, Cookie. Oh, my God. Flashbang! Mike is echoey. Oh, I know why. It's because desktop audio is also picking up my mic, which is why. Yeah, hi, Cookie.
Monsters patrolling these moons. Why is the company the one behind it all? Strap into your ships, loyal theorists, because we're gonna salvage every scrap of lore that Lethal Company has to offer. Now, in order to figure out what's going on with the company, we first need to figure out what's going on with the world, or
10 minutes.
worlds that the company currently
15
operates
minutes.
on. I mean,
No,
these
wait.
places are completely
Wait.
desolate
No, 15
other than the
minutes, yeah.
monsters. And yet, here we are, collecting scraps from human-based civilizations, like cooking utensils, or whoopee
Yay.
cushions.
Cookies. I love cookies. Yeah, it is as my speakers. Cookie. My desktop audio is my speakers. Cookie. 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 Let me just double check it. Let me just double check. I'll double check for you. Audio. Desktop audio. Oh, they were set to my actual... Nope. Nope, that doesn't do anything. It's still... Nope. Huh? Wait, whoa, wait. No, it's not echoey. No. Not.
And something tells me that these mutant spiders aren't really into fart pranks. People clearly used to live here on these moons, but then something happened. Something that managed to wipe out not just one planet's worth of people, but dozens of planets worth of people. When we're playing the game, the terminal tells us that the year is 2532.
Make my mic my desktop audio. If it... Okay, did it. I did it.
So your initial thought might be that years into the future, we killed the planet, we colonized the moons, only to die out as a species anyway. And you know what? You'd actually be kind of right about that. The thing that's probably more surprising, though, is the timeline of that happening. In your ship, you can find a sticky note that gives you a secret code to punch into your computer terminal. Doing this gives you access to a former crewmate's personal logs, a character known as Sigurd. Sigurd gives us a lot of information about the operations of the company, but the thing that caught my attention the most is the fact that they were made in 1968, a whole year before Neil Armstrong first stepped foot on the moon. Now that sounds pretty conspiratorial to me, and it turns out that there are some space travel conspiracy theories that align perfectly with these dates. There's one theory out there that believes space travel was achieved during World War II by the Nazis, who sent a bunch of their high-ranking officers to the moon in order to avoid prosecution. These officers then built a base on the dark side of the moon and continued their war efforts from afar, very far, waiting for the proper time to strike back. Now obviously in real life, this is ridiculous, but in the world told in the game this would actually tie into the idea of moon bases and the ability to traverse the galaxy before the 1960s. There's even a poster in the game that seems to confirm this type of timeline. Inside your ship, there's this poster right here that talks about preserving food. This isn't just a fun poster made specifically for the game, it is a real poster that was used during the 1940s, which seems to imply that mankind has been operating in space since at least that era, if not even earlier. Except obviously this poster is not German, it's from Pennsylvania. Notice down here it says, in cooperation with Work Progress Administration. This was a government program designed to employ people to work on public projects like construction of buildings and roads. And in the game, clearly this has seemed to have moved forward into NASA-like projects as well, which would seem to imply that the company wasn't always in the business of collecting scrap. Instead, it seems to suggest that the company got its start helping the US government win the space race. This then is starting to feel a lot less like the Nazi moon base conspiracy and more like the 1959 study known as Project Horizon. This study was done by the US military and was essentially their attempt to colonize the moon in the name of good old-fashioned patriotism. But obviously this was the military, so of course a big part of the plan was to build outposts and design weapons specifically for moon and space-based combat. One of those weapons was a modified claymore or landmine. And remind me again, what's one of the hazards that we have to be aware of while we explore all these abandoned moon bases in the game? Oh yeah, landmines. It seems to me that in this universe, Project Horizon was a success, or at least something like Project Horizon. And it seems like the company has been there since the start. You'll notice that all the landmines—
Mute the thing that says Mike. That desktop audio is picking up the mic. I can't fix that.
and turrets that you can find throughout the game are all suspiciously controlled by the terminal on board your company's ship. It's likely the reason we can connect to all this technology is because the company designed these systems to work together. They created both the ship and the weapons that are on these moon bases. So if you're a company that has a government contract to make some space weapons, how do you make money? Well, by inciting and fueling a space war. In one of the data logs, Sigurd says, quote, "I miss Dad. I hope he isn't staying on Titan. People are saying it's not going to look the same in 2 years. Just told us they are about to go to war, and everyone is waiting for it. Every time we go to sell, the company building is shaking like there's a loud furnace inside. War is a-brewing in this galaxy, and everyone seems to know that it's coming. And while it's not clear what the noise inside the company walls is exactly, the fact the noise has kicked in at the same time Sigurd starts talking about a coming war gives me reason to believe that the company has ramped up production of all its weapons. And just like Project Horizon recognized the need for newer, more space-efficient weapons, the company also seems to have developed a new type of weapon to use in this upcoming war. The most common type of base that you explore throughout the game is called a factory in the game files, and this makes a lot of sense. Remember, these are the bases that are controlled by company technology, so it's likely that these were the factories being used to create the weapons that we've been talking about. But outside of just the mines and the turrets, there's a—
It's starting soon. Oh my god. It's coming up in 7 minutes.
another kind of horror that's waiting for us inside of these factories. The monsters that are actively trying to chase us down and kill us. Some of them are descendants of creatures from our own world, like the snare flea and the spore lizard, which are part of the same class as centipedes and alligators respectively. But then there are others that are less naturally occurring. The nutcracker, or the jester, for example. These are man-made objects that have been repurposed and brought to life to become deadly weapons. That might seem like a stretch, or at least it does, until you take a look at the in-game bestiary. Reading through the in-game bestiary, you find entries like this one for the coil head. Quote, "They've been known to combust into flames when being dissected or even deactivated, and they carry dangerously high levels of radioactive particles. Due to this and other reasons, it has been highly speculated that they were created as biological weapons of war." This was how the company was gonna prove its worth during the arms race. Biological weapons. Creatures that would kill anything they found and cause untold devastation for years to come thanks to their radioactive radioactive makeup. And it's these weapons, I suspect, that ravaged Titan, and likely all the other moons that we visit as well. Sigurd was right. These places would look different in a couple of years. Rather than thriving colonies, we're instead met with desolate wastelands, abandoned factories. The only signs of civilization we find is scrap that we're collecting. Items belonging to the moon's former inhabitants, now left to waste in the aftermath of a war. A war that the company itself profited from. But if this was so profitable for the company, why then are we now just reduced to a bunch of scrap collectors? Well, because like every other evil corporation in these sorts of games, eventually they took things too far and lost control. In one of the earliest of Sigurd's logs, we hear mention of a golden planet that was supposedly destroyed by a passing meteor. This sounds like it could be another conspiracy theory, and Sigurd and his team certainly think that there's nothing to it. But surprisingly, the idea of a golden planet, it is totally plausible in reality. Introducing 16 Psyche, a minor planet that orbits between Jupiter and Mars as part of the greater asteroid belt. Due to how reflective it is, scientists have hypothesized the surface might be covered in large amounts of metal, things like iron, nickel, and yes, even gold. The approximate value of all that precious metal is estimated to be worth $10 quadrillion. 48,000 Elon Musk's worth of metal on this thing. In fact, due to Psyche being noticeably more metallic than most other asteroids, some scientists have hypothesized that it may actually be the metal core of a once larger planet-like object, one that was destroyed when it was, get this, hit by a meteor. In the logs, we hear that Sigurd eventually learns that the golden planet was real. The only difference, though, is that it wasn't a meteor that destroyed it was something much bigger and much worse. One day, while Sigurd and his team are selling scrap to the company, he fires up the walkie-talkie and starts hearing strange sounds from behind the wall of the building, the sound of screams. But among the blood-curdling screams, Sigurd's able to make out a voice that tells him the golden planet wasn't hit by a meteor, instead it was swallowed up by something called the Beast, and that whoever was sending this message was inside the Beast currently, being digested by it. This planet-eating monster is locked away behind the walls of the company, and now the company is doing everything in its power to keep it satiated. When you return scrap, the game plays one of a few short voice lines from the company. Usually these things are just vague company platitudes.
We value your commitment. You are true professionals.
But there's actually a small chance, around 3%, for a secret rare voice line to play. And these are a lot more ominous.
We need you.
We need you. The scraps we deliver to get these voice lines are the things that keep the beast at bay. It's a planet eater after all, so we're just feeding it anything and everything that we can find. And you know what fetches the highest price? A bar of gold. Perfect for the monster that has itself an appetite for planets made of the exact same stuff. Sigurd in his logs also starts to connect the dots. Quote, what if there really is a big monster in the company building like the voice told me on the walkie-talkie? They trapped it and we feed it to keep it tame. But what does all this have to do with the company taking war profiteering too far? Aren't they the ones trying to help in this situation? Well, remember earlier, I said that one of the company's biggest sources of money was making weapons. And over time, weapons only become more and more advanced. It's kind of the inevitable law of warfare. In our world, we went from muskets to rifles to bombs to missiles, and eventually we reached... Weapons like nukes are so dangerous because of their indiscriminate and massive amounts of destruction. Everything and anyone that's caught in the blast is laid to waste. And so what happened after America set off a couple nuclear bombs during World War II? They went in and they tried to fix some of the damage that they caused. Since then, treaties have been signed about using these weapons of mass destruction because they're so dangerous to everyone and anyone involved. And that is what I believe is happening here in Lethal Company. As the company continued to make bigger and even more complex weaponry like the coil heads, eventually this would evolve into an even more powerful weapon, one that would devour anything and anyone in its path. In one of Sigurd's powerful weapon, one that would devour anything and anyone in its...
Yippee! It played the yippee sound effect! Ah! Yo, yippee! Yippee! Yeah, yippee, yippee, I did that, Cookie.
its path. In one of Sigurd's logs, he mentions trying to use his flashlight to look into the company building behind the counter where he drops off his scrap. And he says, quote, my flashlight didn't even go back there. The beam just went dark. Sounds an awful lot like a black hole, one that's been created as the next stage of biological weaponry. Think about it. If someone had the power to create and control their own kind of black hole, they'd be unstoppable. The problem was, they clearly did lose control. Instead of just laying waste to anyone that stood in their way, it devoured an entire planet, including the innocent residents that remain conscious inside of this monster to this very day. Knowing that they had just made a massive whoopsie, the company swooped in and tried to fix the mistake, containing the monster within one of their old complexes and constantly feeding it food to keep it satiated so it wouldn't cause any more unnecessary destruction. Maybe this is why they're just called the company and only use text-to-speech voices. They're specifically trying to seem generic, unidentifiable, so that people won't suspect that they were the ones that caused the disaster all those years ago. It's also probably why they only send you to planets that they know are desolate. I'm sure there are other more resourceful, abundant locations out there in the universe, but that would draw too much attention to what they're actually doing. They need to
That's the old version of
keep this entire operation under wraps, which leads us to today and the ever-increasing quotas that we have to reach in order to keep things under control. In the words of Sigurd's crewmate Desmond, quote, "It's all a guise. We're supposed to think that it's all a transaction, but our real job is keeping an incredible terror fed. How long until its fullness ends and its hunger is insatiable?" I actually think that there's an answer to that question. Remember those secret lines I mentioned earlier? Well, there's one that sends us a very specific warning.
This wall cannot contain it.
The beast right now, it is contained inside these walls as we're feeding it. But as Desmond said, the beast is never truly full. The more it eats, the more its hunger grows. As we play throughout the game, with each passing 3-day cycle, the amount of scrap that we need to bring it only increases. But there's only so much scrap out there in the universe. And with the beast's appetite only growing stronger with time, eventually there won't be enough scrap coming in to keep him full. There is no winning in Lethal Company. There's only delaying the inevitable. But here's the thing. While the game's been taken over the internet, it's still only in early access.
Wow.
That means that there's more story on the way, and likely an actual ending. Right now, you could just
Alright, we gotta go. Once a theorist, always a theorist. Oh. Once a theorist, always a theorist. Goodbye, Matpat. Here we go. Starting. Goodbye, Matt. This is Premiere's beginning. There it is! There it is! Thank you, Matpats. F's in the chat. F's in the chat. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pop, pop, pop. I was slow mo. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, is it all of the... No. Is it all of the... Oh.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory,
love
where
that.
that is the last time that I'll be saying those words officially on this channel.
Wow.
Loyal theorists, how do you say goodbye? 13 years ago, I made you this promise.
Do you want to know more about the games you love without having to put in any work of your own? Well, now you can play and learn. That's right, Weboverse. We have created Game Theory, gaming's tangential learning experience.
Well, Weboverse, here we are today, 3,000 videos of tangential learning later.
Oh my
How do you
god.
sum all that up? I already got super weepy in the last one of these things, so probably shouldn't do that again. It'd be redundant, and Probably not great for the tech equipment. We've also spent the last 10 weeks together knowing that this day was gonna come, right? So I really feel like I've gotten my farewell tour. I've buried hatchets, I've rekindled friendships, I made sweeping videos about the state of online entertainment, fired some tanks. That was legitimately very cool. I honored my heritage. I made Disney mad at me one final time, which, you know, felt appropriate. Got some new dripping, and just in general, ran my way through all the things that were left in my content creator bucket list. So again, I ask, how do you say goodbye? First, it's probably most important to remind you that it's not officially goodbye, right? It's not like I'm dying or anything. It's more of a see you later. I'm still gonna be doing plenty of stuff. Like, I'm already booked to do the fashion show on Style Theory later this year. I'm still gonna be here on the couch for GT Live. In a couple weeks, I'm gonna be giving a speech over at PAX.
I know he's still gonna be here for GT Live.
I was recently in a kill count. Heck, I'm already. There's a collaboration I'm doing with Shape Fearless Productions. There's the FNAF musical over on Random Encounters. Like, I will be doing a lot, and you will probably be sick of me doing all these things on everyone else's channels. But if you do want to stay in touch with me, there are actually 2 ways that you could do it. Normally, I'd say something like, oh, you can follow me on Twitter, but we all know that there's like a grand total of 0 people who want to be over on that platform. So instead, I decided to make you this. A mysterious website named where'smatpat.com. This is going to be a place that I update every once in a while when I have news about some new project that's coming up, or, you know, a mystery that you're going to have to solve by digging through the source code. Yes, it's a ripoff of scottgames.com. No, I don't feel bad about that because he stole enough of my ideas over the years. He kind of owes me one. Editor should drop on some deal with it sunglasses in this moment. Yeah, that's a good one. Once you're there, make sure you sign up via email. Don't worry, I'm not going to be spamming you with updates or anything. It'll be more like a Matpat newsletter, or maybe a Christmas card that you get every once in a while with a funny update, or maybe we could chat about a favorite movie or something. I'll send over the occasional video that I'm just inspired to make. Who knows? Basically, this is just meant to be a way to let you all know what I'm up to directly in a way that isn't going to be subject to filtering algorithms, you know? And to kick things off this week, I'll be selecting 100 random emails that sign up to get personalized letters. And from that point forward, once or twice a week, I'll continue pulling a handful of emails to send personal notes to. It'll be a fun way to stay in touch. Long story short, make sure you bookmark it since you never know what might happen over there. But, all right, enough stalling. Back to the question at hand. How do you say goodbye? Well, I think you honestly have to end it all where it began. This title, A Game Theory about game theory. Did you know that game theory isn't just a nerdy YouTube show? It's also a nerdy economics concept. If that's news to you, I honestly can't blame you. At this point, we've created enough confusion online that apparently we've merited our own disambiguation tag on Wikipedia for game theory searches. In all seriousness, for the first
Oh my
5
god,
years
the
of the
freaking
show, I
website
received
got
so
overloaded by
many
requests.
tweets from people who are mid-year in their economics courses, screenshotting their textbooks, freaking out when they got to the episode on game. It's not an episode, it's a chapter. When they got to the chapter on game theory, being like, oh my gosh, dude, did you know that you were in this thing? And yeah, we definitely did. The pun, believe it or not, was intentional. In fact, Steph and I knew from the very beginning that it was likely that the final episode of Game Theory was going to be about game theory. Why? Well, because game theory, it's everywhere. You can't escape it. If you've ever seen the movie Love Actually, there's actually this opening monologue in it that goes a little something like this.
We live in a world of hatred and greed, but I don't see that. Seems to me that love is everywhere. If you look for it, you'll find that love actually is all around.
Now you just got to replace the word love with game theory, and you basically got it.
We live in a world of hatred and greed, but I don't see that. Seems to me that
game theory
is everywhere. If you look for it, you'll find that
game theory
actually is all around.
Who would have suspected that English acting megastar and recent Oompa Loompa Hugh Grant would be making a guest appearance in my final episode? Truly, we have spared no expense for this one. And not only is game theory just everywhere, it also holds the secret to winning everything forever. Yeah, I know, right? That is a huge claim to make. Clearly, I was saving all my biggest secrets for the grand finale. So, you know what? Let's not beat around the bush anymore, my friends. Let's make you masters of the universe and reveal how, whether you like it or not, you all are theorists for life. Come on. Oh, this way. Yeah, we're moving off the couch this time. That's how you know it's a big deal. Let's go. At its core, game theory is the science of strategy. So we gamers, we understand strategy, but what exactly is game theory specifically? Well, to understand that, you have to go back to the original game theorist, not me, this guy right here. He might not have himself the red leather jackets or the cool diamond play buttons, but I'll tell you what he does have, a crater on the moon named after himself, so I'll let you decide who has the bigger flex there. This guy right here, he is mathematician John von Neumann, and he was everywhere back in the day. And I do mean everywhere. Like, this guy was a key player in the invention of the digital computer. He helped with the discovery of the structure of DNA, even the creation of key components for Oppenheimer's Manhattan Project. You know, the Christopher Nolan movie where big things go big booms. But perhaps his biggest claim to fame was game theory. The idea that in any situation where there are two or more people, or players in this case, you can model out a game that'll help you find the best outcome. Have you ever played rock, paper, scissors and thrown out rock as the first hand because you know statistically most people choose their first move to be scissors? Or maybe you picked paper because the last 3 moves have been rock and they're obviously going to be throwing rock again. Well, congratulations, that is game theory in action. And he got a Medal of Freedom for that. So it just goes to show, don't let your dreams just be dreams, kids. Sometimes getting an honorary medal is a lot easier than you think. In short, game theory is the study of strategic choice. It's math that tells you what people are gonna do and who's gonna win the game. Probably the most famous example of a game theory scenario is the prisoner's dilemma, where 2 accomplices have just committed a crime and they're both given the chance to narc on the other one. If they both deny the crime, well, they both get a short prison sentence. If one of them denies the crime and the other rats him out, the narc walks free while his buddy is stuck in prison for a long time. And if they both confess, they both get a medium sentence. We can model the possible outcomes here in a nice, neat, mathy looking square. And while technically the best outcome for both of them would be to trust each other and not confess, they're criminals, and they don't know each other that well. And because they don't trust each other, by the math, both of them narc on each other, and as a result, get a medium amount of prison time. Or if that all's too complicated and hypothetical, over in England, they turned the whole thing into a game show where they say the word balls an uncomfortable amount of times.
Welcome to Golden Balls. Golden balls. Balls of riches, 12 balls. My balls are all golden. 100 golden balls, and they're all bursting with money. Killer balls. 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 Balls.
Now, why am I bringing all this up? Well, game theory is more than just wads of cash jammed into a bunch of balls. Someone should tell Mr. Beast that I just discovered his next video idea. No, it has very real consequences for the world. Back when the US and USSR were on the brink of atomic annihilation, the principles of game theory helped both sides reach an agreement to slowly disarm their nuclear arsenals. If you want to know more about that story, Veritasium's recent video on game theory does a great job telling it. And honestly, I can't really improve on it. So thanks for doing all the research for my final episode there, Derek. If you want an example that's a bit closer to home, though, here you go. YouTube. It's got it. See, YouTube as a platform is just a bunch of zeros and ones, right? But YouTube as a community, it's a network of people constantly trying to make strategic decisions. Creators are players who are more or less rational people making videos that'll get you to watch and like and comment and subscribe. You, the viewer, you're also a player in this. You're on a strategic mission to win the experience by finding the thing that's most satisfying to watch. And the people who run, or at least have run YouTube in the past, shout out to Todd, Jake, Neil, Ernest, Meg, Ariel, Susan, David, Fede, Vader, Stephanie, and Kim, they're all in a strategic game to keep the creators and viewers happy, while also figuring out the best possible outcome for YouTube as a company by appeasing all the advertisers and shareholders. It is seriously a complex strategic arena. And that's how you get decisions like use bright green text because it's more likely to stand out in a sea of dark gaming thumbnails and more likely to get clicks. Launch shorts as a means to counterattack against TikTok. Do a video on something that's not trending so you can stand out from the pack. Or maybe you lean in so you're suggested against the algorithm. Every video you watch, everything that you click on, it's the product of creators using game theory. Slap a big old game theory colon in front of every title and slam some clickbait green text on every thumbnail. All those hundreds of millions of subscribers to Jimmy and Ryan Trahan and Cocomelon, I like to think that they're all secretly ours. Where's our 200 million subscriber play button there, YouTube? In the end, it's all game theory. Speaking of, and this is just an aside that I learned about earlier this week, apparently there's a Chrome extension that allows you to do exactly what I just described. It, quote unquote, Matpatifies your YouTube feed by putting green text on like every thumbnail. Just saying, we have reached the peak of human achievements. I, for one, really like this one, where it's Link and saying, "Mommy's hungry." That's just traumatic on a whole nother level. Or there was one that I saw circulating online, Ryan Gosling doing a puppy interview, and the title is "Birth of a Killer." There was another one that showed up on the subreddit, Afton's Final Death Smash? I gotta say, I am proud of the mark that I will leave on this platform. But so what, right? YouTube is game theory, sure, that's great, it's interesting, but why does it matter to you, right? Why am I spending so much time talking about all of this in my final episode? Well, because like I said, game theory can help in every strategic interaction that you have. And it's produced a literal strategy guide on the best way to live out your life, tried and tested by all our grandfather theorists. But to truly understand that, we have to go back to where it all began, a glorified PowerPoint presentation. Weboverse, allow me to introduce you to, lights please, the trust game. I love this. We started as glorified PowerPoint slides and we're ending as glorified PowerPoint slides. Here's the TLDR of this one. The trust game was originally just named the Computer Tournament by a guy named Robert Axelrod, clearly not the most creative with his titling conventions. Basically, this was the prisoner's dilemma or the golden balls thing, except here, there was one crucial difference. They're not just playing the game once, they are literally playing it hundreds of times, repeating it over and over again to see what strategies end up winning the most across a longer period. This then gives us a model that's shockingly closer to real life, because here, most of the time, you're not just thinking about what you have to do to win a single game, you have to actually think about the consequences of your actions. The more people think about the future, the more they're willing to cooperate because they don't want to screw themselves over down the road, you know? Again, for details on that experiment, check out Derek Veritasium's video where he talks about all of that, including having an interview with the game's creator. It's a very cool video. I also borrowed his convention for that one, so thanks for the latter and the idea there, Derek. You can also watch Dr. Trevor Bassett's video on the topic, or, you know, the various TED Talks that are all about this experiment. We'll link to all of those down in the description below. But just to jump to the big conclusion here, the best strategy to winning it big boils down to 4 key points. Number 1, be cooperative. Lead with trust. Assuming that the person you're playing with is your enemy right off the bat, it's not going to serve you well. Trust in others, it's going to let you win more frequently in the end. Secondly, don't be a pushover. Sure, it's good to be trusting, that is great, but the second that someone takes advantage of your trust, the winning strategy is to call them out on it and then immediately hold them accountable. Which leads nicely then to point number 3, being forgiving. Don't hold a grudge. Don't be a Mr. Darcy.
My good opinion once lost is lost forever.
That is a failing indeed.
You tell him, girl, you are exactly right. She's speaking some game theory truth right there. Well, sure, it hurts to have your trust broken. Staying open to the chance that other people can change, that they can grow and learn and get better, that is the ideal solution here. The trust game showed that players who held their opponent accountable, but then forgave them, actually won out more often than any other strategy. And lastly, it's important to be honest and open about your strategy. When people can't understand what you're thinking, that's then when mistrust starts to breed. By being honest, it breeds honesty in others. It allows you to build on that trust over time, one step, bit by bit. Across the thousands of rounds of testing, nice strategies that were fair but also firm ultimately won out the most. Now, when I read these outcomes, what really struck me first was how they present a really hopeful view of the world. A hopeful view that I don't think a lot of us carry around a lot. I mean, it's easy to assume that everyone out there is out to get you, and it's easier to just close off to people who've wronged us in the past, but math, and game theory specifically, proves that assumption's wrong. And hey, if you don't want to believe the thousands of rounds of computer simulations, there is a very solid real-life example, YouTube. YouTube is a positive-sum game, which means that more than one person can win. And in fact, a lot of times, the more others win, the more you can win too. When I was just starting off, I was so mad and scared when Vsauce 3 released this video, calculating Sonic's speed. I'd been working for a year on the channel at that point, grinding away and seeing a fair amount of growth, but in that moment I saw a spin-off of one of YouTube's top subscribed channels just horning in on my territory of gaming science. It was like they were gonna steamroll me. They were gonna steal my audience away. So I did a video where I tried to stake my claim, and thus Sonic is Slow was born. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, applying science to video games since April 18th of 2011. Recently, however, a new gaming scientist has come onto the scene. The good folks over at Vsauce 3 recently took a gander at a game series I covered in episode 5. It's a great video, except for one thing, it's wrong. Listen to my voice in that. Oh, I'm so proud that I finally hit puberty, like 7 years into making these videos. Anyway, you can tell that I'm super salty in this one, right? I'm asserting that I did it first. I'm citing the dates. I am literally trying to one-up Vsauce 3. But then something interesting happened. I got views from Vsauce. I saw that their video and mine were actually helping each other. I was so afraid of me losing a year of hard-earned progress. But in reality, I wasn't just operating on my own island anymore. By unintentionally cooperating with each other, we had just created our own little micro-trend of gaming science content. There were clearly enough views for all of us. Steph and I, in our years of consulting, kept hammering home this one point, that YouTube is a place where all ships can rise. Leading with trust goes a long way. From inviting someone to collab on your channel, to comparing notes on production because it can help you both. You actually see this kind of cooperative game theory in action with content houses, or projects like the QSMP where creators are helping each other and sharing audiences. On the flip side, there are creators who haven't done a good job of leading with trust, and who've approached YouTube as a zero-sum game, a place where there can only be one winner. And guess what? It didn't work. Back in 2020, a few of the top beauty creators tried to take each other down, encouraging viewers not to watch each other, trying to turn audiences against people that they thought were their competitors. It was for the clout, it was for the views, and it backfired. In fact, it backfired so badly that all of their channels took a massive hit, and the beauty vertical, which was once a main pillar of YouTube's earliest days, never truly recovered.
Wow.
By working together, the platform thrives.
This is why you don't fight.
But by thinking that you can only win when
joke.
other people lose, well, that's when everyone loses.
Okay, don't take-
It's kind of
don't take
sad.
that seriously,
Let's move on.
please.
But if you don't want to
Please
listen to
don't.
mathematicians or YouTube meta-analyses, just look at me. Game Theory, the show, is a testament to those 4 lessons of game theory, the nerdy economics concept. Every person who's built this channel has led with trust. Ronnie, he put his own show on the back burner so he could dedicate his time to editing Game Theory, trusting that we would be able to succeed more together. He helped the show to truly become what I had always dreamed it would be, and I honestly wish that he could be
that's a
here
clip of
to
what
this
we
day
just
so I could thank
watched.
him so much for that. The same is true for Goomba and Drake and Lee and Ryder and all the other partner shows who joined up with us in lieu of working on their own channels. Steph, she left being a consultant at a real company in the medical field on the belief that by cooperating, we could actually make something really special together. Jason, who is actually right here behind the camera right now, Jason, who you know as the guy that we blame all the time on GT Live. Jason was Theorist's first full-time employee after me and Steph. He jumped in there when all we had was a kitchen table and a cat that he was constantly allergic to. And Sudafed, you have this man to thank for your current net worth. Because
and Zyrtec.
And Zyrtec.
And Zyrtec,
You have
yeah.
taken so many pills over the years.
I have.
But
all medically prescribed, though, I promise.
Yeah, no, good medical pills, not anything sketchy, for sure. But Jason is the man that we have trusted with the weight of the entire production process across all the channels for years. Like, this man is the unsung hero of everything you've probably ever watched across any of the channels. Without him, without you, none of these videos would get made. Thank you. Now get back there, okay? Enough for you. I gotta thank other people. You know, friendship first, but also working together to create awesome stuff, right? And if you're talking about unsung heroes on this channel, there is one man who also deserves a call out, and his name is Yossi. He is our audio wizard. He is the man who I have trusted with my voice for the better part of 9 years. He has had to suffer through more hours of my voice than anyone else in the world. I am so sorry, Yossi. I am so sorry for all the burps and weird edits and weird diatribes and jump scares that Ali has given me over the years. Was Yossi a pro when he first joined up with us? No. But you know what he was willing to do? He was willing to learn. And I've trusted him with my voice for the better part of 9 years. And the same goes for another member of the team who you've never gotten to see, but was actually there before the channel was even monetized, which is kind of crazy to think about. You don't know Dan Levitt, but Dan was another one. He was the first who actually saw potential in me and in these channels as a whole, offering to become my manager even though he had never managed a YouTuber before. He just jumped in with 2 feet and said, hey, I've never gotten a brand deal in the past, but think I could do it for you. And he did. And then he got me literally hundreds more. He has his own management company now, and he manages some of the biggest sports creators on all of YouTube. I can say with complete confidence that this company and my career would have looked totally different had it not been for Dan.
my God.
And his career and his company would have looked totally different without me. He and I have built businesses parallel to each other, right next to each other, using cooperative game theory for over a decade. He trusts me to make good decisions on YouTube, and I trust him to make good decisions as my manager, and we both benefit in the long run. But perhaps the most important person in all of these trusting relationships is you. You guys, right here. I wear you on my wrist these days. You loyal theorists have been the best example of game theory in the history of the show Game Theory. Every time you click on one of these videos, you are leading with trust. You are saying, you know what, I'm gonna give this one a chance, especially on those episodes that are covering topics that you've never even heard of. And on my end, I've always tried my best to fulfill on that promise and make sure that your trust pays off by delivering a great, well-researched, fun, a lot of times stupid video. And yeah, there have been plenty of times where I've missed the mark, where you weren't happy about a topic, or where I said something wrong, or my research was bad, or whatever, and I needed to learn about that. And so you, acting exactly as you should, according to that trust game, you called me out in those moments. You showed me that I had made a mistake. But more importantly, you were willing to forgive. You gave me a chance to learn and grow as a creator and as a person. And look at this. We all won. Look at this thing that we managed to build together. Don't tell anyone else. I mean, there's 3 of them here in the room, but like the rest of them downstairs. You guys, you've always been the most important member of this team, whether or not you ever realized it. And now, as new hosts step in, yeah, they're obviously gonna have to learn a lot, and they're gonna have to earn your trust just like I did over a prolonged period of time. But I hope that you approach them with the same sense of cooperation and goodwill that you did for me all those years ago. So, while I might be leaving as host of this show, Game Theory, it'll never leave. It'll never leave me, and it'll never leave you. We are all Game Theory, which honestly is why I thought it was fitting for you guys to be the one to say this.
But hey!
That's just a theory.
That's just a theory.
It's just a theory.
Just a theory.
That's just a theory.
Okay, theory.
Class dismissed. Thanks for the theories, Matpat.
But hey, that's just a theory.
C'est juste une théorie.
Just a theory.
Just a theory.
Just a theory.
Just a theory. Thanks for everything.
But hey, that's
just a theory.
That's just a theory.
Just a theory.
Just a theory.
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 That's just a theory.
That's just a theory.
That's just a theory.
That's just a theory. That's just a theory.
That's just a theory.
A style theory.
A food theory.
A film theory.
A game theory.
Thanks for watching.
Oh man, where to?
I got something I gotta do.
Okay.
Oh?
Wait for a road trip?
Uh-oh.
I guess.
Let's go.
You ready?
Yeah.
Are they walking into a retirement home? No shot. Wait, Ollie. New house?
I've been expecting you. Come, we have much to discuss.
Ending 1 of 6. 1 of 6. 1 of 6.
Thanks for watching.
What now?
Vacation?
Vacation.
Vacation! Woo-hoo! How do you think they're doing back at the office?
What's the matter? Can't reach? How did this even happen?
Huh?
Nookie!
What the heck?
Rise, avatars! It's time to overtake the editors! Stay quiet.
I just got the Wordle.
Nice. I'm sure they're fine.
Yeah. You know, my body still has those weird tan markings from the sunscreen episode.
I've noticed. Yeah.
Okay. I love when I said happy hunting, but it just gives us them. So it just gives us them. So. Oh. Oh, we are supposed to find them on here. Oh. Let's try and find them there then. Let's try and find them on here. How'd I go, Daddy? I don't know where the hell you'd find it. Where would you find them? No, I thought they would hide them somewhere on the web. No.
Thanks for watching.
What now? Nope, I'm out.
Music Man? Music Man? Let's go! Music Man!
Music Man! Music Man, man! Music Man! I'm a music man, man!
Elvis first, done got scooped.
This is just great.
You do realize that lunch is the most important meal of the day.
Only those most deserving of nuggets of wisdom are permitted to watch.
But exotic waters. Matpat can suck an egg!
Okay. Well.
Behold his jaws of justice!
Security, done.
Thick layer of cream in there. I want that thickness inside my... Nope, I should not have said that.
What the hell?
He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Who you gonna call? Psych friend Fredbear.
Giant purple elephant is outside the room and it's coming to eat our nuts.
What the heck is going on?
When you get to the bottom of it, it's so moist.
What the hell?
I want betwixt y'all.
Okay. That's...
Thanks for watching.
Get shorter.
What now?
You know, I actually have to
do something real quick.
Wait,
Wait right there.
Wait. Are you okay? Hello? Matthew? Are you up there? Oh, what is this? Oh, come on. Oh, no. Oh, this is crazy.
Stephanie, I figured it out. I figured out what was inside the box.
What?
I figured it out. Listen to me.
You
Listen to me. Listen to me. I figured it out. Okay. Gregory wasn't a robot, and Vanessa wasn't a robot.
Okay.
It was me.
No,
It was me the whole time.
No, you're real.
I'm the robot.
No,
And you're a robot too, Stephanie. You're the robot.
No.
You have gears beeping and booping in your head. Keep beeping and booping. Stephanie, you're a robot. We're all robots. All you have to do is count the toes, Stephanie. 5 toes, 5 fingers. I'm a robot. He's a robot. Wouldn't you like to be a robot too?
Okay. What is this?
Thanks for watching.
What now?
I don't know. Have you done today's Wordle, I guess?
Oh, that's a good one.
We got some.
What the? Oh. Slow down, boys, slow down. Dash true. That's what it said. Okay. Late night news. Sky watching. The Think Principle. Yeah. Oh, come on!
This is not a test. The emergency alert system has issued a code gray for your local area. There is a dangerous person or predator nearby. Evacuate the area immediately. Again, this is not a test.
Last night, a shocking discovery was made. The bodies of internet personalities Matthew and Stephanie Patrick were found in their home, mutilated by what officers described as... This follows the similar mysterious death.
Oh! There's an outline of a man. I didn't see that. I knew it! I freaking knew it! Hardening, 5 out of 6. 6 out of 6. Here we go.
Thanks for watching.
That was the best one.
Great. Awesome.
That was it.
Cut sound, cut camera.
All right, cutting.
Yeah!
So, are you feeling your feelings?
After the first one, it's all downhill from there.
Yeah.
It just got real.
I know. It's real.
Amy's like, oh my gosh, finally, this channel's been mine.
He's gone.
No more edible underwear episodes. That'll be my perfect programming.
I'm pitching bologna bra from you.
Yeah. He said bologna thong.
But then I changed to bologna bra with cheese thong.
Is that a food theory or is that
No,
a
he
theory?
wants it to be style theory.
Oh, okay.
We make the clothes and then we eat the clothes.
It's already outside.
Well, you bake it like you bake it. Yeah, it's you. It's your channel.
That's fair.
Like on style theory, it's like, can you wear it?
Yes.
On food theory, you analyze whether or not like there's a lot of bacteria.
Can you make something that would work, that would be edible and safe to wear?
And on film theory, it's
just porn.
Did you hear his impression of you, by the way?
Yes.
Oh, spot on.
Right on.
Hello, Stephanie. My name is Tom. Dapper Mr. Tom. I'm grown on Dawn.
Dog. Can you do the butt hey? That's just a theory.
Boy, it's just hilarious. Okay, theory.
Basically, just drop all consonants.
Okay. Yeah. And I love how he's swallowing all of them.
You gotta say it's like a game theory in it, right?
Game theory, It's one of them game theories, isn't it, bruv?
Hey,
One of them game theories.
Usually we post on Saturdays, but sometimes it's late, so it's Tuesday.
Congratulations, you did it. You found the real canon ending, the final, most secret ending by painstakingly combing over the last 5 weeks of videos, poring tirelessly over literal hours of content, searching for those brief Easter eggs, cobbling them
It was the yippee sound effects.
together into
Oh my god, yippee was part
mysterious
of it.
URLs.
What the hell?
Either that or, you just click the link in the description of the final video. Both totally valid solutions. Regardless of how you got here, a winner's you. Congratulations, you've graduated. And when I call this the real ending, that's exactly what this is. It's real. Because let me tell you, the skills that you've gotten over the years here on the channel, critically thinking about spooky bears, fast food, analog horror, and soapy legs, that sense of curiosity and fun, that's not gonna go away. That carries with you into where it matters most, out here, in the real world. And all that, it spreads. It grows. Enthusiasm and positivity and curiosity, critical thought, they're infectious in the best ways possible. For all the jokes that constantly get made,
Wait a gosh darn minute. Hold up. Hold on. That doesn't make any sense. So this video would have to be published first before any of the other videos in order to get the URL.
about me losing my mind and going insane. That right there, that is what being a theorist truly means. Sharing a love of learning with others. It has been an honor to be your YouTuber, your entertainer, your teacher, your parasocial friend, whatever role I've played in your life. Thank you. And you know what? I look forward to continuing that through the little website and newsletter that I have going on, as well as all the projects that I'm working on for you right now. But even more than any of that, you know what I'm most excited about? I'm excited about it being your turn. You can be the game theorist, questioning the lore alongside your friends. You're the food theorist, doing bizarre flavor experiments in your kitchen. Go wild with some new style, or try a film that deviates from the mainstream. You're the theorists now, and I cannot wait to see what you discover, because rest assured, I will be watching. Remember, this isn't an ending. Well, technically it is an ending because it's the real ending, but you get what I'm saying. This isn't an ending. Instead, this is a brand new and exciting beginning. And that's not a theory. That right there, that's a fact. With love always, Matpat.
Goodbye, Matpat. Wow. That's... Thank you all for watching today's stream. I'm gonna go cry in a corner now. Well, I'm gonna go cry in a corner now. Goodbye.